What's up, Sheeples? This is our fourth take, but hello, welcome to the last episode of the second season.
Yeah, hello, sheepers. I might sound a little like over it right now because, well, Discord isn't being helpful right now. But yeah,
Mm.
this is actually the fourth take for us for this episode. But welcome to the final episode for the fourth time. But yeah,
For the
I mean,
fourth time.
honestly, no, like we are really happy to be doing this again. This is the second season getting over. We didn't even think about like how first season went by, and now second season is over, which is holy crap,
Seriously, man.
crazy. And we
Seriously.
crossed the big milestone of 1 year of Sheeples being done, like in
Whew.
during season two, which was really cool. Plus, like I think personally, I've really enjoyed
We
doing.
crossed it and then we realized it. Huh? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it's
We
a limit.
crossed it and we
Yeah.
realized like, holy crap, this has happened. And like I was saying, like I've really enjoyed doing season two because I think we've had a lot more fun with the topics. We've had a lot more time to think about stuff, and um, I think it's been an interesting time to like see how we are growing as people as well. Because when we look back into the older episodes and now that we talk today, it's such a different like tone from what it used to be. Because I think the first episode we ever did was really monotone, right?
Oh, yeah, it was. And not just the first one. I think we hit our worst at episode 3 and 4, at least mine, because the audio quality was so bad.
Oh yeah.
Like, I seriously feel like going back and saying, "Hey, can we delete my voice from it? Can you just be talking to you?" Because that'll still be a better
No,
episode. Like,
like
seriously,
I
it's
agree.
taken us
Third and
it's
fourth
taken us
episode.
a while, at least for me, to realize how important audio quality is. And considering that I stay in a very noisy part of the city, and like even with my windows shut and pillows and curtains stacked against my windows, you can still hear the annoying freaking bullet guy who is driving at 70 motherfucking kilometers per hour for no reason.
Bro, I
But
can still
yeah,
hear the crow behind you, which is the best part.
exactly. The crow is like, "क्या कर बे गांडू record तू
uh,
करके बता क्या
no,
करके बता हम
but
लोग."
but but all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it is like a lot of growth I think from there, and I hopefully like our quality will keep improving because we have a lot of plans for season three. But before we get to that, I think we wanted to do this final episode as Kafi vibes because I thought it was a really good idea to like just bring in the community again and all that. Even though we didn't really get questions except for one, which is fine because right now and I think we'll talk about this as well. But like in the past 2-3 weeks, it's been really difficult for everybody, and I think with that said, like we also needed a break from everything, especially like with with how things are going on with COVID and everything like around us just being haywire and basically chaos. We kind of needed like a step away from everything. So this will be a good break and time to plan stuff out, do a lot more for season three because season two has been amazingly fun to make. But yeah,
Dude, seriously, man.
like
Above and beyond fun.
main thing I think would be like even going forward, whether it be season three and further on, for coffee vibes as well. We have so many plans. Like we genuinely want to later on make a set and have our own like coffees and mugs and have stuff where we can like record and are in front of the camera and talking and answering your whether your it be
Dude, you
your
know what?
questions or
Like,
whatever.
I'd like maybe this is like down the line, but I'd love to at some point, probably being a nice little coffee shop and doing a coffee vibes from there,
Dude, that would be
and sort
so
of
cool.
helping like that small business and
Yeah,
doing the pod from there. So, in a way, they help us with our coffee fix. We help them with whatever little micro circles we are reaching
I
out
know,
to.
right?
I guess that would be the goal.
But
Like, we can get
I
to that
think
level
that
where,
would be like once we start getting the amount of people really looking into what the kind
huh?
of work we are doing, and
Right.
it would be awesome to get to that point. But then again, like that's a goal for further
Yeah.
on, and
And that's one of the reasons why we are also taking a conscious break, because like the first two seasons, I will be a little bold and just say that, we winged it. Okay. And while we are great at winging it, at least I believe it, I have fun, you have fun. But I think maybe like the kind of content people want to listen to, maybe we've just not identified that yet. So we're taking this conscious break where, I mean, not only do we recharge,
hmm,
but also at the same time try to identify a little more win-win kind of situation, we're to gonna have fun no matter what, because we enjoy each other's company. We're great friends. But
Are we?
if we really want to go out and make this community, मतलब ठीक है यार, हम लोग फोन कॉल पे कर सकते हैं
हाँ.
बात. हम लोग ऐसा खर्चा खर्चा करके पॉडकास्ट, पॉडबीन, ऐसा डिस्कॉर्ड, ये सब हरकतें क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because like I would have thought 2 years ago that podcast is free to do, but it's not. You have month on month costs. And so we want to get to a point where it's not just us having fun on the podcast, but even if it's 10 listeners coming in every podcast consistently, and not just listening,
I
but
mean,
at the
I
same
mean, at
time
the end of the day,
interact.
this idea is a community, right? Like the Sheeples, like
Right,
we always say, it's an
right.
idea, it's a collective, it's you and me, and it's all of us, right? And
Yeah,
at the end of the day, as the Sheeples, we want to not only do the podcast, we also want to like grow and make it into like a bigger content place where we can have different kinds of content going on. Like recently we tried ASMR. Z was amazing with that. Honestly, Z loved that video. Dude, that was so good.
did you give me an excuse to have 6 cups of coffee? Because that's how many it took to get the video rights. I gotta thank you,
No,
man.
but like
Thank you.
I enjoyed that episode. Sorry, video, right? Like it kind of led to the next episode, and from doing a coffee episode, we had to on to a coffee vibes, which is again like a it kind of
Yay.
streamlines it into something that an idea that we keep talking about anyways, right? And it's just conversations
Right.
between friends, and it's not just us that are the friends here. You're the third like listener. The listener is our friend as well, right? And at the end of the day, the more interaction we get from you sheepers, the better we'll be able to know where we want to go and where we want to improve. But either way, we don't do it just for that, right? We do it because it's enjoyable, it's fun, we get to be creative, and I think nothing can be better than that, right? Like just being able to have that freedom in a way, in whatever form that we have. And I think like going forward, we want to improve upon whatever type of creativity that we are trying to show you sheeples, and maybe have some of you join in on like that creativity if somebody wants to make something cool for the sheeples, or wants to like do something on the insta post, or whether it be like joining us on a pod and talking about a topic you all want to talk about. We would love to have you come in and just I guess go ham, do what you want, because it is not just us. This is a collective. It's a
Yeah, it, it,
community.
it
So
is it is a three of us
yeah,
into two, into three, into four. We want to keep growing. I mean, it is a community, and while it's fun to just do things for what you love. And we just had this discussion before the podcast that let's not target numbers, and
yeah.
let's not, because then it kind of gets a little, it's like a little bit of a downer, when you're like, arre, but wo influencer Instagram pe itna grow kyun kar raha hai? And like I think it's like we'd have to attain,
I think numbers just like put something in your head, right? Like you always look at
हाँ,
numbers and
मतलब
you're
they
like,
just
okay,
they give you a goal, they give you a
yeah,
benchmark. ना मतलब okay, like today if I'm at 3, okay, tomorrow I should be at 6.
yeah.
And even if I'm at 6, why can't I stay at 6? For like I'm okay with that too. But the point is that I think the numbers are important, and while we are all saintly in our day-to-day lives, maybe if we want to make this community grow, we need to, like, maybe it's not who we are as people, but maybe we need to have numbers as a small goal. Maybe baby steps. So we had this discussion before the pod, and
And
I mean, otherwise it's always a joy. Just I think the episodes where I have the most fun, and I think this is like a note for the future, is like when we get another sheeple on board, like we did with Hormus, and then we did it with Fupa Lord, and
yeah, I mean,
we did it with
I think
Varshini.
Fupalord
I think
and
those are the most fun.
Fupalord, even Hormus, right? Like Hormus wants to join
Yeah.
for another baking or food episode. I know that Fupalord and Dath Mulga kind of want to join in on an anime
Oh yeah,
episode, so
dude,
that's going to be a lot of fun.
so much fun.
And there's another episode like Varshini really wanted to do, which we'll keep it a secret for now. But it's a very important topic that I think
Top
we really do need
secrets.
to speak about, and we haven't touched yet. So it'll be really interesting to see like how we can tackle that, and talk about it, and have a have an informative discussion, because we want to do better. And like Z said, like one, we do wing it a lot, but we also kind of want to have a structure to it. So like we can have episodes where we are winging it, to having episodes where it's a little more structured and a little more studied, and informed and educated, and like so something that we can give you sheeples as well, because there's something like not only we gain out of it, but then you as well, and the articles we'll write will have a little more to them because of that, right? So I think the idea is just like we said, growing through our conversations. That's always been the point since the beginning, and I think it's kind of hitting home even today, because that's what we are doing. And I think coming to Kafi Vibes ka point here, we do have one question, Z, and we really want to thank Awkward Mind at Awkward Mind on Twitter, or otherwise we know him as Mindfully Awkward on Instagram. uh, they've always been like, I think, avid listeners some of our podcast, and we've always had them like come in, and whether it be liking our posts or sometimes commenting and all those kind of things, always interacting with us, which is really cool. So they ask
Yes,
us,
sir.
how are we holding up during this period, like these last few weeks, and how with everything that's going on. So that's actually a very deep question, because there's a lot that's happened. But I think
Yeah, man, you're gonna unlock. Gonna tap into so many. I don't think people are asked how they're
I think,
doing.
what, Z, like, why don't you start with it? Like, how have you handled it? How are you holding up right now?
Okay, so I think I'll compare it with this period a year ago where I was absolutely shitting bricks. I was freaked out. I thought the world is
Mm-hmm.
ending. Maybe it was. Maybe it eventually will. But like last year, this time it felt like it'll end tomorrow. Like we'll wake up and we'll all won't wake up.
Yeah.
So compared to that, I think I'm doing much better this year.
Mm-hmm.
I have still remained steady in my resolve to not consume news, because I genuinely feel that news from a newspaper or from social media is it triggers a lot of negativity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not advocating for being uninformed either. I'm just saying that you need to be very specific with the kind of news you want to consume.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the internet and search for that item. Um, so I think that's helped me a little bit. A lot of people I know who, because social media was supposed to be that safe haven,
Mm-hmm.
right, where you went to disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Like your virtual world is supposed to make you happy,
Yeah.
but it's become very ulta for a lot of people out here now. Like this, the virtual world has become another negative echo chamber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I guess that's one thing that I'm not doing, and I have actually since the past 3 months taken sort of a interest towards financial literacy, and that's one thing me and Ayushman both share, because we've both of us have realized that ठीक है अब तक नहीं किया गलत था, but there's no excuse for not doing it from now on.
Yeah.
So late to late, but
No,
we
but like,
started,
I think
and
this
it
one discussion, and I think maybe we should have an episode on it at some point, with someone who's a little more
dude
informed
seriously
with finance.
कसम से
But
कसम से
but the one thing, like, we've been talking, and this has happened, like, I think over the last month, right? We've talked about so many different things in finance and investing and all those kind of things, and it sounds very adulting stuff, and like it is. And it might sound like "Arey, why?" But I think it's really important, right? Where when you realize, like, because I'm quite sure y'all are managing your own funds, whether it be you working in a different city and at home right now, or which stuck at home right now during this whole period, which I can imagine must be like such a like stressing time. And your funds and your money and how you save and how you invest becomes really important, right? And whether, even if you're at home and with your family and you're working, like, I think you learning how to manage our own funds is I think one really important thing. And over the last year, I've come to see like how much of a difference like different things can make, whether where you're earning from and how you're putting that money into like different things, right? So this is one thing maybe we can have a conversation over in the next season, or either the season after that, and have like some guest over who can really talk about finance with us, and teach to really novice people how do you use your or save your money, use your money, invest your money, kind of stuff like that. So
right.
plus but yeah, that aside, I think you were saying something, Z, about like holding up, right? I came
Yeah,
in.
no. So I mean, I think that's the short and sweet version. I don't want to bore people with. Uh, it's just it's okay, man. It's not. I'm glad I am not in a negative spiral.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful to not have been a prey of the virus. Everyone at home is, my direct family is all safe. So we're staying home.
Right.
We're sort of exercising the habit of if we need something and it's not at home, we don't need it.
Right.
So just doing away the urge. Though I am being a bit irresponsible and going out when it comes to taking cats to the doctors or dogs to the doctors, but I would say that's unavoidable.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, not really meeting friends to smoke the ganja or like just chilling. Bro, kidhar hai? Masti karte hai. Like not doing any of that
Right.
shit. So
No, I mean,
सेंसर करना पड़ेगा क्या ब्रो? सीधा
I don't think we can technically
नारकोटिक्स
say
आने
that.
वाला है घर
I don't think we can anyway.
पे.
But then, see, here's the thing, right? Like Z said,
Dude,
news.
how are you doing? How are you doing, bro?
It's been an interesting. I was getting to that, right? Like,
Because you're not
yeah,
doing great,
I'm not
and I
doing
can
that
feel
well
like
right now. I think over the past 2 weeks, well, I guess, I mean, nobody really is doing well in any sense in that way. But like over the past 2 weeks, I think for me mentally it's been a little difficult and a tough space because a lot of stuff has happened, especially with like close family members getting the COVID virus, friends getting the COVID like virus, and like just hearing about different people having different issues, and then like Z said, media right now is filled with like just information and it's like the whole how much the virus is spreading, how much stuff is happening. But I think there's a positive there as well, where while there's this whole news of oh my god the spread has become crazy, the second wave is mad, there's too many people who were not like taking precautions and not taking heed to the word about like okay this virus is still around, you shouldn't go out as much. Now at least like you are seeing people work together to help each other, even though there can be so much that originally needed to be done, and I guess there's been a lot of mismanagement, which a lot of people are angry about. But now I think the government is working on it, and luckily I think the oxygen issues are being looked into, they are being sorted out. Hopefully it will get better over the next week or so. But yeah, like just seeing people work together to help each other, to find resources for each other, to give information to each other has been amazing. But on the other part of it, for me it's been difficult because a good number of my family members who are in different parts of the city or different parts of the country at least have COVID, and just like hearing about some of them being in the ICU, hearing about like some close people who worked with my father or worked with my mom or have like known my family passing away and being in the like really difficult situations has been a tough thing to again and again take in and hear. But then again, like I think a lot of us are going through this, and I feel like this is something it's not great to think about. We have to learn to deal with this because I know that we will get out of this stronger, and I'm quite sure you sheepers, even if nobody has told you this or if you've been hearing this as well, just hear it from us as well, that everything will be all right, you will be fine, you will get out of this, and we all together will beat this virus soon enough. Because I feel like we don't say it enough, but I think we need to get this positivity outside. Like we need to say it into the universe so that it gets there, and we won't get bogged down by all of it, basically. But yeah, I think I went on a rant there. Sorry, Z.
No, sir. That is quite the inspiration. I'm ready to now go and play that hockey match from Chak De. अभी
70 मिनट
मैं जीत के आएगा वो
70 मिनट है तुम्हारे
सीधा ब्रो.
पास.
70 मिनट दिया है तेरे
Yeah.
में. प्रीति सबरवाल हो गया हूँ ब्रो
अरे
मैं अभी,
ब्रो
मतलब
फुली
ऐसा
फुली.
मारने वाला हूँ. चौटाला सीन चल रहा है भाई.
Chotala, that was good. For the sheeples who don't know
Dude,
what I'm talking, or what Z
good
is talking
speech, good
about,
speech,
you'll
bro.
need to watch this movie called Chak De India. It's about women's hockey, and it's actually a really fun movie to watch. Okay, so I would genuinely recommend watching that one movie for sure. Um, but yeah, I think like I think you got quite a hefty answer. Awkward mind slash mindfully awkward.
Like, को पूछा मैंने
uh,
चुपचाप बैठा था. ये लोग ने ऐसा inspirational speech बना दिया.
No, but honestly, like this is something that's been on my mind, and I think you kind of get where my headspace has been because of everything right now, because of all this. But I hope like things get better. But yeah, if you're looking at the positive side, I think there's a lot of growth that has happened and a lot of things that people have been learning over this, and hopefully they'll take more precautions after this, because the lockdown is, I mean, people still are moving around, which is not great, but whatever. Like, let's not get into another rant. That won't be a good idea. But yeah,
Season 3.
season three. Let's talk about season three and what you sheepers can expect from season three. I think this is the one thing we'll
You
talk.
know, we haven't yet had this talk,
Yeah,
so
we really haven't.
like, yeah,
But that's the
we
break
figured
for.
it out. We're just going to like
Yeah.
give the top liners from our discussion survey reports.
Hmm.
Uh, I guess one for sure is that we're going to spend a lot more time chasing numbers, unfortunately, because I think that's going to be one way to validate whether we're reaching out. So even if it's a small number, it's not like we're going to be number obsessed. But I think we're going to give each other a number target and like actively pursue that.
Yeah.
So maybe you might see a lot more of pushing the content
I mean, okay,
happening.
here's what I think we can phrase it in a better way. We aren't saying we are going to look for numbers, but then we are going to look for growth in that sense. If I think you want to put it in.
But growth led through numbers, na?
Arey, bro, as much
Like,
as that is there, I think if we can get more interaction also, even with the people we have, I think it might be a good
हाँ
idea.
तो number ही हो गया ना मतलब today if we are at one interaction and we get to two,
I
that's
guess,
like
yeah.
100% increase.
I no, but like
So
I would rather
like
not
I'm
put it
saying,
as numbers in the sense of like that's one habit we want to get out of, right? Technically, as much as we are still doing
no,
it.
I'm saying we want to get out of, but we need it to be there in like a very small way to like actually know how much. Like I'm not saying be number obsessed,
Yeah, fair,
but I'm saying like introduce a little bit of it, like just a
fair.
little bit, like
Just
just enough
just a little bit,
to
just a little
just
bit. Yeah,
to know
yeah,
if it makes a difference or not. So I think maybe season 3 will be like in a way experimenting,
yeah,
and at the end of season 3 we might have the answer that is being concerned with numbers even worth it in the littlest way,
yeah, yeah.
maybe.
True. I think, yeah. I mean,
But
that
not to be
what
like,
Z says is true. Yeah.
guys, follow me. I want to follow
No, no, no. That
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 kind
that
of
won't be
podcast.
that. We
Like,
will.
guys, like, share, subscribe to the
Yeah.
Sheeples podcast.
That we will
Not
be
that.
pushing though. That's for sure. I think we will be pushing a little more on our
I think the
podcast.
best kind of pushing is where you don't even
Yeah.
realize that you're being pushed. I think that's the
Maybe
sweet spot.
have like content that since we are already doing it, we've been doing this before as well, but like have content that like directly even says that, okay, you can learn more about what we are putting up right now on our podcast. So maybe like in that case, push it in that sense as well. But yeah, I mean, we are letting you sheepers know already, because like we said, y'all are our friends. This is an open conversation, and y'all will like you'll keep hearing about whatever decisions or talks we have here and there. So it's always like a fun conversation that we also both need to discuss a lot about. And that's the thing, right? We
Right.
have these next 2 to 3 weeks, how much ever we are thinking like maybe after the lockdown we'll continue, because with everything that's going on, I think we all need a break from different kinds of things. And uh,
Seriously, man. Like, I know that you had half a mind to not even do today's
oh, dude,
episode.
yeah, like
Like,
my
I'm
brain wasn't in it. My heart was
full
like, yeah,
fry,
I'm
bro.
I'm I'm a bit,
Bheja fry
yeah,
tha,
yeah,
bro.
fully. I'm fried right now. I just and for that matter, I need to write the article after this, so it's going to be a fun one. But yeah, I
Fun
I
one.
think I think that's what the thing is, right? One, like numbers. I guess, yeah, like Z said, numbers. What would two be, Z? I think we'll talk about 3 points and then we'll let it be.
Yeah,
So
I think numbers, and then after numbers, I think maybe, just maybe, okay, and like this is of course open to discussion since we haven't discussed it, but I think maybe, just maybe, sort of go from discussing all the topics that are out there to like maybe 50% of all the topics. Dheere dheere maybe come to like a sweet spot of 4 or 5 topics where we can talk well. People enjoy listening to us. So, while it's great to start the podcast with, we talk about everything because, the both of you and I were like, I guess, lucky to have this ability that everything is interesting. Nothing is like boring and
Right.
off-putting except for like politics and religion.
Right.
So still keeping those two things aside, maybe move to like from a bigger pool of discussion to like a slightly smaller pool of discussion to see if that makes a difference. So like
You know
again
what? You know what?
experimenting,
I have an idea for this. I feel like
right?
having good all topics isn't a bad thing. Yes, it's a bad thing in the sense of algorithm and SEO, and like your content style and type becomes varied, which isn't always the best for your growth if you really want to go look at it that way. But maybe what we can do is have seasons dedicated to a particular type of topic, right? Or particular types of topics. If like
Right.
whether if
Okay,
so
fair.
if we have season 3, we can dedicate it to maybe gaming and tech or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds
Season
much more fun.
4 we
Like,
can have dedicated to mental health and whatever we can do it that way, right? We can, I mean, mental, I
you're
guess we
right.
can
And
involve mental health in gaming and all that as well.
see, mental health is a big
Yeah.
part. And then the reason why I'm saying this is because, I look at my own habits of consuming content. And,
Yeah.
when I'm thinking of a particular thing, like, recently I'm thinking of financial
Yeah.
literacy. So, I know a very specific YouTube channel that I can go
Yeah.
to, and that channel only talks about financial
So I
literacy.
think
So
doing season
we,
focuses might be a good idea.
huh,
And
है ना?
we
Because
can
like I
do we
think
can do
we need
like
to,
pop culture or trendy things within that realm of the topic. So if it's like so if we take finance, like you said, for an example, and have a season based on that, we can talk about, if we want to go trendy with it, we can talk about what the financial decisions in Marvel and all those kind of scenes are, if we want to go like different types of topics within a realm, right? So have like that might be an interesting way to go about like doing seasons, right?
right.
Like, I mean, think about it, like it would be an interesting thing to think about how
Seasons make
budgeting
sense.
budgeting in a
Yeah,
Marvel movie would be,
I'm,
right?
I'm with you on that. With you on
Yeah,
that.
so I think that's a good plan. So yeah, Sheeples, you just heard one decision that's been made right now.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah, so that's that. I guess that's one more, and the third one I think will be working on midweek stories, because we want to make them more interactive. We want to make them more fun. I think last year we were able to do games and all
Right.
that on the story, so we want to do that more. We want to come up with different ideas, quizzes and stuff like that. That will be a little more like homegrown, original, difficult, easy, fun, everything, right? So I think just improve on that, and we are already posting a lot as it is. I think the video and artwork content is kind of melding well. Maybe we can change up the times we can do it. Like Monday, I can do a artwork, and Tuesdays he can do a video. Wednesday, I can do something, or we can both do like a mixed project or something like that. So you could, it'll be ideas that will come out further on. And
Right.
maybe we can take suggestions from you, Sheeples, about like what you want to see on our page or on our socials, anywhere, wherever it be, right? So yeah, I think that's a plan. That's a good place to start. But yeah, what do you think though, Z? Like,
Dude, sounds perfect, man. I think a lot of experimentation with videos, uh, maybe jumping on the bandwagon, doing some reels
oh
once
yeah,
shit gets a little
we
more
were planning to
sane,
do reels, right? That's there.
right?
Yeah.
So, hopefully season 3 can be like, we can meet up in person and do these.
Oh,
I
please,
don't know how we
let's
managed
do
to
it.
pull off.
Let's do that.
I think we've like in our 2 seasons, we've probably, apart from the first episode
First two
and the
episodes, yeah,
second, done
first two.
everything. And this is, I think, the first podcast to have started before the
Yeah,
pandemic and then just been virtual.
it's all been
Like, I
virtual,
guess,
but I think it's been an interesting journey, and there's so much more to do. So I can't wait to see where this goes. And both of us, I think, are hella excited, because season 2 already was a lot more fun for us to do than season 1, because we changed our perspectives a lot for how this would go, and
perspective management हो गया bro.
perspective management हो गया.
Shout out.
Shout out to the
You know who to.
to the people who understand what we meant right now.
Ah,
But
damn
yeah,
son.
so I think that's about that. I think we shall see you soon. We'll miss you for the next 3 weeks. Though actually, we'll still see you, because we'll be posting on our Instagram page. But yeah, this was fun. I thank you for being a part of our fun community. Thank you for listening to us for 2 seasons straight, and I think
Yeah.
it's on to
Dude, imagine if
season
this is
3.
like the last episode and we don't come back and someone listens to us 10 years ago and we're like, no, please. And then we do a reunion for them. Like we do a
Yeah.
world tour of Sheeples. Hey, see, we're back.
For
So
one
this break
sheeple.
is actually a
For one
marketing, the
sheeple.
break is actually a marketing stunt, okay?
Yeah.
हम लोग actually 10 साल रुकेंगे यार for someone to like comment and say, oh shit,
Ah.
why did these guys break up? We want them.
Maybe they
Please
weren't
come
good
back.
friends. Maybe they lied to us. No.
सीधा
No, no.
multi-million dollar deal sign up करेंगे
I
ऐसा
know, right?
वर्ल्ड शो मास्क पहन के
Mask पहन के. चलो.
मेटा मास्क पहन के लो
MetaMask. Yes, please. Again, you all can look up what MetaMask is. It's related to
हम
crypto.
लोग रैंडम है तुम लोग रैंडम मत बनो
Yeah.
तुम लोग भी रैंडम बनोगे तो हम लोग पॉडकास्ट क्यों कर रहे हैं फिर भाई डोंट टेक अवे आवर यूएसपी
Exactly. अपना ये उस पे. This is our USP. You can't take it away.
किस पे उस
उस उस पे. Okay, fuck.
Shiba.
We need to go.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sheeples!